Hello, I'm Jim Hessler from Path Forward Leadership. I'm the founder of Path Forward and also the author of the book Land on Your Feet, Not on Your Face. I want to talk to you about one-on-one meetings, which I say are the gold standard of effective leadership. As I look at all the various management practices that I've observed over the years, I don't think there's anyone that I can identify that's more important than having substantive and regular one-on-one meetings with the people who report directly to you. So let's talk about a couple of principles that I think you should have in mind when you have these one-on-ones. Now, first of all, you need to have them, and that's where the discipline comes in. The fact is that when I look at which types of meetings are most likely to be canceled or postponed in most organizations, I would say it's the one-on-one meeting with the boss. Both parties have a responsibility. Both the boss and the reporting entity have a responsibility for this discipline. If your boss is continually postponing or canceling your one-on-one meetings, you need to step up and do something about that. You may actually need to put the meetings on the calendar yourself rather than waiting for them to do it. So these meetings have to happen, and they have to happen with some regularity in order to be effective. And we don't want either party feeling like an afterthought, right? There may be nothing more important for you to do as a leader than to have this meeting. And you may need to say no to other things in order to clear your calendar in order to have the meetings. Don't forget that the most critical workplace engagement, satisfaction, comes from the relationship that people have with their boss. There's nothing that's been proven to be more important or substantive than that quality of that relationship in determining a person's capabilities and growth and performance. The second point is agenda. Now, what are you talking about when you're having the one-on-one meetings? And a lot of people tell me, well, I'm having regular one-on-ones, but when we look at the agenda for the meetings, we find that they're full of tactical issues. They're full of maybe customer incidents, things that came up during the day that need to be problem solved. That may be a valid use of a one-on-one meeting, but it doesn't get to the heart of what at least some of your one-on-one meetings need to be, which is, how are you doing? How am I doing? How can we coach and support and help each other grow? And how can we make this working relationship as impactful and as productive as we possibly can? And so when you have an agenda, don't load it up with tactical stuff and then expect the deep, interesting interaction, relationship building type of conversation to happen at the end of that, because the tactical will always overwhelm the relational in these types of conversations. You may need to have two different kinds of one-on-one meetings. You may need to have a certain type of scheduled one-on-one meeting that is tactical in nature, and then you may need to have another type of one-on-one meeting. Maybe it's less frequent, maybe it's once a month rather than once a week. That is, how you doing? How are you progressing? Are you happy? Do you like working here? Those sorts of questions. So be careful of your agenda. Don't deceive yourself into thinking that you're having great one-on-one meetings if all you ever talk about is tactical issues. The third thing that I think makes for a great one-on-one is curiosity on the part of both parties to come and really listen to each other. Again, it's easy just to transfer information. It's easy to have a one-on-one and say, this is what I think you need to do about this, and this is what I think you need to do about that. Go talk to so-and-so, et cetera, et cetera. It's easy to just use a one-on-one to dole out tasks or information. Show some real curiosity about why things are working the way they are. Maybe get into some questions about process, about systems. Why are things working well? What are the barriers? What do I, as your leader, need to get out of the way so you can do your job better? So come curious. Don't just come with the intention of sharing information or telling people things. Make it a real conversation. The last thing I think that's foundational to a good one-on-one is accountability, again, for both parties. What did we talk about today that requires action, so that we're not just coming back week after week, month after month, and rehashing the same stuff over and over and over again. What did we decide to do last time we met? Who made a record of that? How well did we follow up with each other in an email, perhaps, to say, these are the things we talked about today. This is what I'm committing to do this week, this month, whatever. This is what you said you would do. And then when you get to your next meeting and you're in this rhythm and this discipline of having the meetings, it's a really good idea to start the meeting agenda with a discussion of the action points that you agreed to from the last time. So you want this to be a meeting in which you don't want to show up unprepared, which you don't want either you or your employee to come without some substance of things that have been done since the last time you talked, that you took action, that you made something happen. And you'll find that all of your employees and you will be more productive if you create that sort of rhythm and accountability in your relationships. So have the meetings, be clear about the purpose with the agenda, don't overload it with tactical issues. Show up as curious, make it a deep conversation in which you may discover new things that you didn't know about until you had that meeting, and create action steps that hold both partners accountable for accomplishing certain things between the various meetings you're having. So I think if you follow those rules, you'll have better one-on-ones. You'll probably end up looking forward to the one-on-one meetings, and you'll be less likely to cancel or postpone them because you see real value in that interaction. So go have great one-on-one meetings. Thank you.